What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a 3-game slate to dive into for Thursday, September 4th. So we're going to break down and analyze those games. I'm going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points on the spread. And when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into that pinned comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. So we're going to find all of my final plays for these games listed for free. Now, before we dive into these games, we would typically look at the previous day's video and what we put in, but I am recording this before those Wednesday games tip off. But we do need to take a look back to Tuesday because we were in the same boat yesterday. So let's go ahead and see what we put in Tuesday and how those plays ended up going down. We ended up putting 2 plays in. Alyssa Thomas over 23.5 points plus rebounds. We talked about that one in the video, and we do end up cashing on that. Carla late, I did add this one in a little bit late, no pun intended, over 9.5 points. This was especially frustrating, man, because when she was in the game, I was pleased with what I saw from her. She was attacking the rim. She was really aggressive and looking for her points, right? She got a couple nice little assists there at the end of the game. But that's when she played, was at the very end of the game, man. She had 4 minutes, I believe, heading into the fourth quarter, and then she played the majority of the fourth, if not the entire fourth quarter. But yeah, 4 minutes heading into it, just not enough runtime really to get up and over this 9.5 point mark. So a little disappointing on that one. It was a plus money play, and that's really the biggest reason why I put this one in. I found this available on 2 sports books, plus 137 at Novig, and it was minus 142, I believe, at FanDuel. So crazy value over here at Novig, which is pretty par for the course. But yeah, man, that's why I ended up putting that one in, and just does not work out in our favor. So 1-1 on the night, nothing too hateful, man. We don't make any money, don't really lose any money either. I think we lost a little bit off the top there unit-wise. Nothing crazy though, right? So we're going to go ahead and look at this 3-game slate. Let's see what kind of value we can find on the board for today. Smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's jump into the mix, guys. 7:30 p.m. tip-off time for our first game. It's going to be the Phoenix Mercury. They're taking on the Washington Mystics. Mercury are 9.5 point favorites in this one. Total sitting at 160.5. Phoenix, they're going to be traveling from the west to the east coast here on the road for the first of 2 straight. They're at a 2-day rest disadvantage as well. They've won 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8. They sit at 26-14 on the year, 11-8 when away, 9-1 to the number when playing on the road. The Mystics, man, they've started the free fall, though, to close out this year. 7 straight losses, covering only twice over those 7 games. Washington's now 16-25 on the year. They're 10-10 at home, 9-11 to the number in those home games. Now, Phoenix, they've won each of the previous 2 head-to-heads this season. The most recent in late July was in Washington, and they covered as 8-point favorites. They won that one by 16. Man, the Mercury, they had question marks concerning their depth when we looked at their roster coming into this season, but they've been one of the top teams in the W throughout the year, and they continue to play pretty good ball, man. Looking at these teams in their last 5 games, they're third for offensive rating and defensive rating, while the Mystics, they're third from last defensively, dead last offensively. Now, Washington, man, they don't shoot a ton from deep, and outside of Sony, they don't really shoot the ball well from outside either. They're putting up the 3rd fewest 3-point attempts and at the 4th lowest shooting percentage across the league. The Mercury, on the other hand, they're hitting the 4th most threes at the 4th highest shooting percentage. They're giving up the 4th fewest threes and sit at 5th for 3-point shooting percentage allowed, while the Mystics are just 9th for 3-point shooting percentage allowed. They're giving up the 2nd most made 3-pointers as well per game. Phoenix, they're scoring the 2nd most points off of turnovers, the most points on the break. Washington, they're just 9th for points allowed on fast breaks, 3rd from last when it comes to points scored off of turnovers. And they're giving it up at the 3rd highest rate as well, while the Mercury, they're giving up the 3rd fewest turnovers, and they're forcing the 3rd most on the other end. So all in all, man, it is a lot of points to lay with Phoenix on the road, but I wouldn't put my money on the Mystics right now or with them in this spot against the Mercury, so I'm going to lean with Phoenix on the side. For the total, we've seen 2 unders between these 2 so far this year. 2 of Washington's last 3 have hit to the under, while the Mercury have gone under the total in 6 straight games. Washington has been playing at the 3rd fastest pace in their last 5, but Phoenix is sitting at just 8th in that regard. And with their defense and the struggles from the Mystics offense, I'll be looking towards an under for this game here. Then next up, looking at the Dallas Wings taking on the Golden State Valkyries. We have the Valkyries coming in as 9-point favorites in this one. Total sitting at 158.5. Got 10 p.m. tip-off time. Now, there's a lot of injuries to go over in this game here. Zonda Lassini, Hayes, they're both game-time decisions for the Valkyries. For the Wings, man, the out-for-the-year list just keeps growing, right? Ty Harris, Lee Rue, J.J. Quinterly, now Luisa Geiselsalder as well. They're all out for the remainder of the year, while Rike Gumbawale is out again here for this one. Isaiah James, Haley Jones, they're both listed as game time decisions as well. Man, just a mess over there for Dallas, and this is how the last few games have seemed to look as far as the injury report is concerned. This is going to be the fourth head-to-head between these two. Dallas, they took the first meeting way back in mid-June. The Valkyries have won each of the last two by 10 at home in late July and then by 9 in late August in Dallas. Golden State is at a one-day rest disadvantage, but they do remain home with no travel, while the Wings, they're going to be on game 3 of the four-game road trip. Dallas, they've lost 8 in a row. They failed to cover in 5 straight games. The Valkyries, they've won and covered in 4 straight. We got to give credit to this Golden State team, man. They've not only exceeded expectations, but here they are as the season winds down in excellent shape to not only secure a playoff berth, but they're playing great basketball overall as well, man. They're fourth for offensive rating in their last 5, first for defensive rating, and guys, they're first overall for net rating over the last 5 games, above the Dream, above the Lynx, above the Aces, the Mercury. They're first for net rating in their last 5. Now, the Wings, on the other hand, second from last for offensive rating, dead last for both defensive and overall net rating. So this feels like a pretty tough matchup for the Wings looking at it on paper. So that 9-point spread, it does make sense. The Wings are leading the league in percentage of points scored from 2-point range and from inside the paint, and that's not going to fare well here against the Golden State team that gives up the fewest paint points. Dallas, they look to get out and run often. They're fifth for fast break points, but the Valkyries are allowing the second fewest points off of the break. Not much to like here, man, as far as the Wings are concerned, right? Especially with Golden State being home here as well. The injuries on the Dallas side, the potential returns from injury of Hayes and Zanalacini for the Valkyries. So I got to side with Golden State here in this one. For the total, Dallas has gone over in 3 of their last 4, but head-to-head, these two have hit the under in 2 of their 3 played. The Valkyries have gone under in 2 straight. They've just been an under team on the year, man, because of that defense, right? 25 of their 40 games played this year have hit to the under. They're playing at the second slowest pace in the last 5 games, the slowest over the course of the year. I think the Wings, man, they struggle offensively here, and we see Golden State shine again defensively at home. 11 of their last 15 at home have hit to the under, so I'm going to lean under looking at this one as well. Guys, real quick, before we jump into the next game, I did want to take a second to talk to you about the Guy Boston Sports NFL Survivor Pool, guys. If you are not hip to that, make sure that you look down there into the description and into the pinned comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to that website where you can sign up and enter. $10 for an entry. You got up to 5 entries maximum. It's going to give you a shot at $2,700 for the grand prize if you're able to win this thing and take it home, man. Now, here's how it works. Like I said, $10 for an entry, up to 5 entries maximum. Now, each week you're going to pick who you think has the best shot of winning, right? Because all we need is for them to win outright. No points, no spreads, nothing like that. We just need them to win outright. And if they do, you move on to week 2. Now, the only kicker is whoever you take in week 1 can't take for the rest of the year. So on and so forth for the rest of the season as well. Whoever you take in week 2, if they win, can't take them again. So that's where the strategy comes into play. That's where things get interesting. So like I said, make sure you check down there into the description and into the pinned comment. You'll find a link down there, and that's how you can get over there and sign up for that Survivor Pool, man. We got a little bit of time before week 1 kicks off. Then our third and final game on the evening, 10 p.m. tip-off time. Minnesota Lynx, Las Vegas Aces. The Lynx are now 1-point favorites. I'm pretty sure that opened up as the Aces. I think it's just been flopping back and forth. Neither one were plus money on the money line. You know what I mean? They were both minus odds. So definitely a toss-up in this one, right? Total sitting at 164.5. Man, this game here, like I said, man, this is definitely the game of the night. Really, there's potential for this to be the game of the year as well. Just 2 powerhouse squads coming into this one. The Aces are going to be home here for the first of 3 straight. They played their last game last Wednesday, so a full week off in between action, and that's what we got to ask here. How does that affect them here in this one? Do we see a sluggish start? You know, will they be rusty? Or do they continue on that dominant path that we've seen from them over the last month, really? You know, all of August. It's been 12 wins in a row for Vegas, with their last loss coming to these Lynx. 9-2-1 to the number over those 12 wins as well. They're beating good teams, man. The Mercury twice, the Dream twice, Liberty, the Storm, Golden State twice as well. That last loss to the Lynx we mentioned, though, it was definitely more than just a loss, right? It was an annihilation. 111-58, a 53-point loss. It was the largest margin of defeat in franchise history. It was the largest margin of defeat for any home team in WNBA history. And while that loss seems to be the catalyst behind what spurred this recent run, this much better play, right? The lineup changes that helped them get there. I think, it also helped just an overall shift in mindset for these Aces because they just seem to be coming to play now, right? The effort was just simply not there at times before this turn up. Minnesota, though, man, Best team in the W. They've looked like that for just much of the season, most of the season, right? Even when Fee went down with injury, they've gone 32-8 on the year, 13-6 on the road, 11-8 to the number one away, and they have won and covered in 4 of their last 5. So yeah, man, this is an insanely difficult game to call. So full transparency, man, I don't see me playing the side on this one. I really don't. This is about as much of a pick 'em as you can get here in the W. Vegas is obviously in the better spot situationally, sure, at home with a ton of rest. Minnesota coming in with travel involved, 5 days less of rest. The Aces have won a million games in a row, I know, but then look at these two head to head, and all of a sudden, it doesn't feel like such a sure thing for the Aces here, man. The Lynx have not only won 6 in a row over the Aces dating back to last season, they covered in all 6 of those, and they won each of those 6 games by double digits. They won those 6 by an average margin of victory of over 22 points per game. And sure, you could say that number was inflated some by that 53-point dub, right? Okay. Don't forget that they beat them by 31 in the meeting prior to that. So where do you go with this one, man? Do you trust the Aces who have been red hot, and they're in a triple revenge spot looking at this one, having lost the first 3 meetings between these two this year, 6 straight in a row, dating back to last year, like we said. Do they keep that win streak alive after a full week off? Or do we trust Minnesota here, man? The team that has dominated this head-to-head matchup, not only this year, but last year as well. Do we expect rust from Vegas while the Lynx come in with momentum, right? Having won 3 of their last 4 since the return of Fee. Each of those wins by double digits. I don't know, man. Here's the thing for me. Personally, I have 0 luck when it comes to calling an Aces game. So, if this isn't your first time watching my WNBA videos here on the channel, you're most likely aware of that. Chances are you've seen me fade the Aces when they come out and won by 20 points. Or back then when they come out and just put up a dud, right? I've probably had like a 10% hit rate trying to bet on the Aces over the last couple years. So yeah, man, this is one that I want to try to hop back in on the Aces with, because as hard as it is to look away from them, while they are quite literally playing the best basketball in the league currently, I'm not in the business of fading what has been the best team in the league to this point. A team that I still see winning it all, and a team that has recently had Vegas's numbers. So I'm gonna lean with the ever so slightest and smallest of small leans I've ever leaned in my life towards the Lynx here in this spot. Like I said, man, I'd be very surprised if I end up playing the side on this one. Now the total, Vegas is sitting at ninth for pace over their last 5. The Lynx come in at just 10th. The Aces have hit to the under in this specific number in 4 of their last 5, while the Lynx have gone up and over this specific number in 4 of their last 5. And we've seen 2 overs in a row head to head, with 4 of their last 6 meetings going up and over this number. These are 2 great defenses for sure, man, but these are great offenses as well, with a ton of firepower on each side. So the Lynx are going to come in sitting at first for offensive rating over their last 5 games. The Aces 6th, 4th on the year at home. I'm going to lean towards an over looking at this game. That is going to wrap us up, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content today. Hope you found the video helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to wrap us up, man. I hope you all have a great Thursday. I hope you all cash out. And I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.